it's Chef Michelle, and this is episode 1 of Vegan Swap with Michelle. I am just thrilled. I want to do this the entire year. And just so you know, on Sundays, we'll go live on Instagram and talk about recipes and talk about like how to really lighten things up and take these traditional regional recipes and veganize them. So I wanted to start with my mom's recipes from years past that she had published in cookbooks. She had several different recipes published in regional cookbooks, and she was very proud of that, and it was very fun for her. And I started going through all of those again and finding all of the recipes because it was just such an important part of my life growing up, and my mom and my chef grandmother and my other grandmother who was an amazing home cook. We just shared recipes all the time. It's what we did. I'm just so excited to go ahead and start diving into those traditional recipes and showing you just how simple, just how fun and easy in today's world of what we have available to us and the knowledge that we have, that it is to make things a lot lighter, cleaner, chemical-free, and plant-based. So I started this week, episode 1, with the recipe from the book By the Sea from 2001, a collection of recipes from North Myrtle Beach community, which is in South Carolina. And it was my mom's ham and Swiss casserole. Okay, so first you think ham and Swiss casserole, that sounds a little almost impossible, right? It's really not. Because of all of the things that we do have available to us, I looked at the recipe and it says egg noodles. Well, I always buy no yolk noodles. So that was super easy. Already had them in the pantry. Now, the next thing was 2 cups of cubed ham. Of course, I'll put the recipe in the description for you. Thinking, ham, okay. Well, Tofurkey came out with, I'm gonna show you the box of that, came out with an amazing product this year. It's a ham style roast. And it's just like ham. And so you don't have to use traditional ham. You can just cube up this, and you don't even have to pre-cook it. You don't even have to pre-cook it. All right, now the next thing it said was Swiss cheese. Well, super, super simple. I just buy plant-based cheese. I like the Violife brand. It melts really well. I like that brand, so that was easy. Now, the other thing it said was 1 can of cream celery soup. So I don't like to buy the condensed soups simply because they're full of chemicals, and most of them do have some sort of milk, some sort of dairy in it, so or butter or something. So I always steer clear of those. And because it's so easy to make your own, it's literally just a 1/4 cup of flour, a pat of butter, and a 1/2 cup of milk, and then stir that together like you're making a roux, right? And then basically you're just letting that cook into a consistency, and keep adding the milk as you get the consistency that you know it to be. And you end up with this. You end up with exactly like what comes out of a can, but instead it's just a clean version that you made yourself with pantry staple items, and you don't have to deal with any of those chemicals. And again, they're not plant-based most of the time. All right, so that was super easy. The other thing it said was sour cream. Now, I can't ever find a vegan sour cream. I should make that and bring that to market because that would be super great. Can't find one anywhere. What you can do is get a like a yogurt, like a Greek yogurt or unsweetened plant-based yogurt, and you can use that instead. But I just left to opt that out today. Now the other thing is, she said a cup of chopped green peppers. I'm not a big green pepper fan, so I am giving my own license to omit that. Sorry, Mom. And then a cup of chopped onion. But in the place of the green peppers, I'm going to put mushrooms. I love mushrooms. These are just baby Bella mushrooms, and they are so healthy, so easy to use. I use them all the time in different recipes. And when you chop them, you can save the stems and put that in your stock. So it's just a fantastic staple to have in your kitchen at all times. There's so many different things, and I'm sure we're going to run through a million mushroom recipes. And that was it, right? Now, I did add a few seasonings. So I did a garlic powder, I did an onion powder, a little bit of salt, and then I decided to add just a little bit of sage in there. And then I put this spice blend. So my friend Linda is from Czech Republic, and her mother brought me last year a bunch of these amazing recipes. I can't read the bag. So I translated all of the words in the recipe, in the spices and the spice bags, and then I put like my own little piece of paper on the front so I would know what's in that one. But this one basically, it would be like almost like a chicken stock flavor, like you would put in a soup or something like that. And I'm just gonna add that in there for a little flavor just to zhuzh it up. So those are our ingredients. So next up, we're gonna put it all together. Okay, so we're gonna follow the recipe exactly like my mom wrote it. Now she said in a 13x9 greased baking dish, I like to just use just a plain avocado oil spray. It keeps it a little lighter than if you were to put a butter, but you could always put a butter for flavor as well. That would be really good. And of course you can find any kind of avocado butter out there, which is what I use all the time. Now, all we're really doing is assembling the ingredients. It's that easy. So I'm gonna put in the no yolk noodles. Just had those pre-cooked. And I like to make them when you're going to use a noodle in a recipe. You want to make sure that you really go a little extra on the al dente, right? Because it's going to go into the oven. It's going to have other ingredients that might cook it even further, like liquids and such. But you want to just keep it really al dente when you're using it in different recipes. And then I'm just going to put it together, really. It just says assemble, combine all of your ingredients and spread cheese on top. Okay, so we're gonna put the ham in. And again, this is a tofurkey ham, and I'm just gonna blend it all so it gets, I like to, if you're gonna have a bite, you want a little bit of everything in each bite, right? You don't want the little blank spaces, okay? And then I'm gonna put the mushrooms in. Again, she had green peppers, but I prefer mushrooms. I love peppers, but just not necessarily green peppers. I don't know, a little bitter for me, but they are super, super good for you. All right, so then we're gonna put mushrooms here. Okay. And then after that, we're gonna add a little bit of chopped onion in. She said to put half a cup of chopped onion, so that's what we have here. I just used a white onion, so you could easily, put whatever kind of flavor onion you want in it, but I just did a white onion. Okay. And then I just add my spices. I'm just gonna sort of blend them through, right? Just the onion powder and garlic powder. I did a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just gonna blend that through. And then when we put our soup on there, that will actually help to blend all of our spices in. But I thought it'd be nice just to have a little bit of an extra kick like that. Now this is where we're gonna put the sage and the spices from Czech. And again, this is just to sort of zhuzh it up with a little bit of extra flavor. We wanna have that there, okay? And then I have just a little bit of salt. Just put a little bit of salt in, okay? Just to always have that extra little kick of salt. Then I'm just gonna sort of mix that together a little bit, just so we can get those spices sort of blended through. And then I'm gonna add the homemade condensed soup. She does say undiluted, so it's gonna be thicker like this, like it would be in a creamed canned soup. But again, we just made our own. And then I'm just gonna spread this through, right? And I'm thinking it's gonna be really good. And I know it's super cold, it's winter right now, it's February. I am in Wisconsin, so of course it's always a little chilly here for the most part, except for July. It gets hot in July. And a warm, cozy dish in the winter like this is just fantastic. Okay, then I think I wanna mix this up just a little bit more, right? Just so we can have the soup all mixed in through the noodles. And you know what I'm gonna do? So I like to make my plant milk at home with my own product, the Clean Living with Michelle plant milker. And recently I've been using walnuts to make milk. They're very nutritious for you. They make a really nice, light, almost like an almond milk comes out as, creamy texture, super fantastic. I think what I'm gonna do is, just so it doesn't get too dry, I'm gonna add a little bit of my walnut milk in. So I'm gonna grab that real quick out of the fridge. And anytime you make your own plant-based milks at home, they don't have the gunk, they don't have all the fillers, so just shake it up a little bit and perfect, ready to go milk. Look at that, love it. Okay, so again, I think just to sort of lighten it up a little bit so it's not too thick, and when it bakes, it'll have a little bit of a movement to it. We don't want it just to be one big glob. All right, we'll stir that in. And then, as all good casseroles end, what goes on top of a casserole? Always some sort of cheese. So here at Clean Living, we use plant-based cheese. And again, I had it's either Vio or Vio Life, one of the two, but I do like their product a lot. And I will, again, put the products that I use today in the description below the video. And we're just gonna sprinkle the cheese, and you can never have too much, right? I think so. I don't think you can. It's always gonna be that extra little layer. And if my son's gonna have it, which I know he will, this is gonna be tonight's dinner, he's gonna love this. If there's more cheese, there's a better chance he's gonna eat it. So there we go. Look at that, oh my goodness, that is so pretty. I love it. My mom, she would be so proud. I'm telling you, she and my grandmother, they would just love all of this. They are always innovative, thinking of new things and trying new things, and they would have loved the idea of taking their recipes, their old traditional recipes, steeped in Southern tradition, and try to lighten them up and make them something new. So this is to honor them for sure. Now, all we have to do is bake it. Once it bakes, we're gonna come back and we're gonna taste it. Okay, it's done. So it's just baking at 350 for about 40 minutes. Really check your oven though, because obviously certain ovens cook a little faster than others, but it came out beautifully. I did broil it for just a couple of seconds under the broiler, and then I added a dairy-free Parmesan on top, just a grated Parmesan, and then just a little dusting of finishing salt. And I think that'll really give it that just extra punch when you crunch into it. So, like I said earlier, I really know that my mom and my grandmother would absolutely love the notion of just changing up their recipes and freshening them up and making them new. They would really enjoy this. So I hope you all do. I can't wait to taste it. Swiss and ham casserole, right? And it was so simple. We just used no egg noodles, right? No yolk egg noodles. We used a tofurkey ham roast. We used plant-based cheese, and we used my own sort of concoction of a condensed can of soup, right? Which I'll put all of this in the notes below so you can check out the recipe, make it yourself. And of course, leave us questions. We are really excited about this new series, Vegan Swap with Michelle. It's gonna be every Sunday live on Instagram. We're gonna go through recipes, ask questions, and really just get into what it means to swap things out and make them cleaner, plant-based, and healthier. And then on Monday, you can go to YouTube, Clean Living with Michelle YouTube, and watch that week's recipe video. So looking really forward to this. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I wanna taste this first off. It's really hot. It literally just came out of the oven. That's really good. It's so comforting, right? It just tastes like something of yesteryear, and we just brought it to today. It's exactly something my mom would have cooked right in the middle of winter. So it's really fun to do. Okay, everybody, enjoy yours. If you make it, make sure that you post it on your Instagram or your Facebook or wherever you want to post it, YouTube. Send us a picture of yours and tag us so we can see what you made, and let us know what you think about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, we will see you next week on Vegan Swap with Michelle.